Supernatural Podcast. My name is Ben.
And I'm Ben.
No, you're not. You're Jake. And we are so glad to have you with us tonight as we sit down with Beyond The Badge Paranormal and talk to them about some of their experiences, their YouTube channel, all that kind of good stuff. Jacob, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I don't know if did you change the music?
No, I did not.
Oh. It sounded a lot different on my end.
Yeah, well, we've got some new technology and stuff going on, which is why we're like a little bit behind on uploading the show. I had to get new computer stuff and make it all work, and it kind of put us behind a little bit.
So it's Ben's fault. Blame him.
It's Ben's fault. It's Ben's fault, but we're back, and we have this really cool interview with these really cool folks, and we hope you'll check out their channel, Beyond The Badge Paranormal, when you get a chance.
They're groovy fellas.
They
I'm
are.
talking to them.
They are. They're pretty cool folks. They got some pretty cool stories. Firefighters, yeah.
And ghost hunting is their outlet.
Yeah, so I guess we'll just get into that, huh? Let everybody hear from them. All right, here you go. All right, so why don't we just real quick introduce everybody so we know who everybody is here.
Excellent. So my name's Jeremy Lefevre. I'm the I guess the founder of Beyond the Badge Paranormal. I'm a firefighter in the city of Newport News. I've been there going on 18 years. Yeah, and that's what we got.
18 years. Bet you got some stories out of that, don't you?
I have a lot of stories, man. I think a lot of my interest in paranormal might have been sparked by some of the stuff I've seen too. So,
well, that's what I want to hear tonight. All right, who's next?
I'm Jessica. I'm not a firefighter. I am just paranormal obsessed, married to a firefighter, and yeah.
I'm Randy. Firefighter for Winsboro Fire Department. Been there for 17 years now. So I think our interest, we've started just having an interest in it for a while, but we went to Gettysburg this past October, and it kind of really sparked it up for us.
All right. Well, so I assume you're from that area then?
Yes.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm born and raised in Gloucester County. It's like a small little town just a few minutes away from where we work.
I feel like I've heard of it, but who knows why?
Yeah,
Is that like Northern Virginia or Southern?
No, it's not Northern Virginia. It's really close to like Virginia Beach.
Oh, you're way down south.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess we're considered Southerners.
Yeah.
All right. So firefighters, paranormal investigators, way more interesting than we are. So if you guys want to tell what kind of got you into either of those, whatever you guys want to talk
Sure.
about.
Yeah. I'll start with the firefighting. I mean, I needed a job to pay for my children's food.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I have a tendency to have children. I have 3 teenage daughters now, so I have to work. So yeah, the firefighting is, it's just been pretty awesome experience. The paranormal, I've been an enthusiast for my entire life, really. Even as a teenager, it was kind of my thing. I've always wanted to sort of go out and hunt ghosts before it was a thing on Travel Channel. And then of course I'm a little bit obsessed over every ghost show I've ever seen. My children and my wife will tell you that if TV's on, that's all I ever watch. And so that's kind of been my thing for the last 30 years. I just now finally gotten old enough and have enough money to maybe do my own stuff. Not a lot of money. I am a fireman, but enough finances to say, you know what, I'm going to take a weekend and go travel somewhere and do something cool. And then with the firefighting side of things, the stress and bad stuff that we see on a regular basis, especially over the last 18 years, I realized there was a need for an outlet that was healthier than the drinking, partying, crazy outlet that most of us do. So I did combine the two things. I was trying to look for a way to start my own paranormal group, and then also help my brothers and sisters in the fire service. So I just came up with this random idea one day after getting in a small argument with my wife about hobbies. And I said, you know what, the hell with it. I'm going to start my own group. And, if it's just me, it should be just me. But I got a couple. I fooled a couple people at the firehouse to join it in. Told them it was going to be awesome, and made them watch some YouTube ghost stories and stuff. And they were like, "Oh, that looks fun." They didn't realize it was going to be a full-time job because I put them to work, doing a lot of stuff, and I annoy them every day with 100 emails and text messages. But that's the life when you're friends with me. And then Jess and Randy actually reached out to me because I think they were fooled and thought maybe I knew what I was doing. But come to find out, I had just started myself, and I said, "Hell, come on, join." Shit, I'm happy to have you. And their enthusiasm has been pretty amazing. So it's good to have them on board. And we've been doing some crazy shit. Been a little over maybe 2 months that we started the group, and it has gone crazy. We've got a shit ton of equipment. I don't know where we're getting all this money from, where I'm in debt, but other than that, and we've got some locations already planned out for 24. We're gonna go do some crazy stuff. February 1, we're going to St. Albans. That's going to be our next big one, and then we head over to the cabin on 360, and we just got a whole bunch of shit planned. But the group's really morphed and grown into something that I would hope it would have grown into. It's just a lot quicker than I expected.
That's awesome. I know I watched some of your stuff on YouTube, Beyond the Badge Paranormal. If you haven't looked it up yet, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this, look it up. These guys, they're an amazing crew. I liked watching you guys just be together. Even was really entertaining. You tell you guys are really good friends. You got a really good crew. Having fun, enjoying it, and I think that's the most important thing. So, yeah, you guys are awesome.
Yeah, it's really funny how the two videos we have on YouTube right now that I got today I checked, they got almost 4,000 views, or almost 3,000 views. And it's just a bunch of weirdos in the woods. We don't really catch anything great. Please check out the videos. It was just one of those investigations that got sprung on us, and then we were like, hell, let's do it. And we really didn't know what we were doing. But it's got a lot of views, and the woods themselves, hopefully we talk about that a little later on. But yeah, people are weird. They must really like these videos because they keep watching them, and I'm happy about that.
Well, people like to be scared.
Yeah, no doubt.
You said you're going to the cabin on 360?
Yeah, we go there March, I think 26th. I don't know.
The 17th.
Yeah,
Same
sure. She keeps the calendar, if you can't tell.
There you go.
I went there with Dark Hollow and my brother last year.
Right.
And my last name is pretty hard to pronounce. Like, I think you guys can see my name on there.
Yeah, I can't do
it. Yeah. So we were using a spirit box, and it kept saying, I think I have it on the TikTok too.
It's on our YouTube shorts. It's on the TikTok.
Yeah, but it kept saying like behind you, and it was hard to understand, but then it said my last name like perfectly. And my brother and I were there, so we both kind of freaked out, and it was cool. So we had a lot of activity at the cabin on 360.
Yeah, I got a warning from a lady after I was messaging somebody on Facebook, and this lady messaged me back and said that I need to make sure I load up on prayers and some sort of smudging or something. So
yeah, they said it feeds off a negative energy. So like I was thinking I was screwed because my brother is one big negative energy.
Yeah, nice.
But other than it getting freakishly cold, and I mean we had a lot of activity. Like we had cat balls going off. We had the ghost box or spirit box. We had a lot of cool activity. Like mag lights were going on and off like crazy. Intelligent answers. And we were gonna spend the night, but it was cold.
Yeah.
I guess we were tired.
Yeah, that seems to be a thing with paranormal investigating, being cold and tired.
Yeah.
That is for real.
Yeah.
All right, Randy, Jess, you want to go ahead and tell us what got you into this stuff?
Oh my gosh. Well, for me, I've kind of always loved it. I'm kind of weird, and I can see things that you can't see. I'm like our special person of the group. So I've always seen things growing up. I've always thought I was so odd. And then actually a few years ago when my best friend passed away, I think it kind of kicked it up a little bit. And then we decided to take this trip and start ghost hunting together. And when we went to Gettysburg, whatever was in me just lit up. And so when we came home, I was like, I really want to find a group. And I took my EMT with Jeremy long time ago, and he just popped up on my Facebook, and I'm like, I'm going to message him and we're going to do this. And then we all got together and it just took off from there.
Yeah, we definitely have a connection for sure.
Mhm.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Your gift guides you.
Yes, my
You're
gift
brave enough
guided
to
me
follow.
for sure.
You're brave
Yeah,
enough to follow. It will guide you.
it does. And I keep getting stronger. It's kind of scary, but kind of cool.
I understand, but our Patreon people know all about that. So we're not going to dwell on what my story is. Your guys' are way better. Okay, Randy, anything?
Yeah, we've been together almost 15 years. I think in the beginning we watched the paranormal shows on TV a lot. Then the kid comes along, so everything changed to Disney World, of course.
Yeah.
Then
Yep.
we've always talked about going to Gettysburg because I like the history, and of course I like the paranormal stuff. So went there for our anniversary. We kind of did the tour of like the Jenny Wade house.
The orphanage.
Yeah, the orphanage. In the Jenny Wade house, she kind of saw the little kid on the second floor. So we moved into the second room on the second floor, and she's like, "This little kid is like getting overwhelmed." And about that time, I felt the cool breeze on my neck. I turned around, took the 3 pictures like they said, and I caught an orb on the 3rd picture.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of cool that she sensed that. Then we went to Sachs Bridge, and all kind of stuff happened there.
Yeah, we got followed home there. I had to cleanse the house, but yeah.
Yeah.
So if he was a skeptic, he's no longer a skeptic.
If it comes face to face with it, that's kind of hard to deny it after that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Something you'll learn about Jessica is she will when you get to know her, she start freaking you out more often than not. I get the weirdest, scariest text messages from her on a regular basis. And anytime I get a text message from her, I kind of open it up like, oh, well, what is she going to tell me now? You know,
you should just wait until you don't fall asleep and she wakes you up. It's like, something's here.
Yeah.
Happens all the time.
We have a lot of deceased relatives that come to see us. Just when I'm about to sleep is usually when something happens. But
yeah, I don't think they have clocks on the other side. They don't.
Yeah, they don't. They don't have clocks.
Appropriate visiting hours, people. Come on.
That's right. When we talk about the Old House Woods episode, if we do get a chance to talk about that.
Well, I think no time like the present, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead. Take it away, sir.
I don't know if you're familiar with Old House Woods or not. I wasn't until I was in an EMS room, and another paramedic who lives in Matthews County overheard me talking about doing some investigations and trying to find a location. And he was like, "Hey, Bubba, you ever heard of Old House Woods?" You know, said it something like that. And I was like, "But I don't even know what you said. And also, I have no idea what you're talking about." And he said, "Yeah, man, go check it out. Go check it out on the internet." And I went straight over to the little computer and looked it up. First thing that popped up, the most cursed woods in America. And I said, "Shit, there you go. We're doing it." That's how I made the decision. Granted, we were amateur. We have barely no idea what we're doing, but we're doing the most cursed woods in America. And I said, you know what? I want to go big or go home. So we did 2 full nights in Old House Woods. It was cold. There were long nights. We got some cool shit in there. I mean, you know, we're working with the equipment we have. But we had a very spooky scenario while we were there. We were out doing night 1. They were doing an investigation at this old shed. There used to be a house that burned down, and big long story, but we were out there. Jess and I were standing on the road, just hanging out. The atmosphere is really calm, just like it is right now. Just we're having a good time, relaxing. I had the woods to my back, and it was really dark. I couldn't see her, but I could feel all of a sudden out of nowhere this electrical charge, just like if someone plugged me into the wall. The entire backside just lit up, and I immediately turned and felt like, what the hell? And she, without missing a beat, was like, a man just ran up to the woods. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. I can feel it. And when I turned around and faced the woods, it went away. And so this coming and going of energy happened 5 or 6 times. And she said, well, the guy is protective of the land. He can't leave the woods for whatever reason. We didn't think he could. You know, he's a big dude and all that. And so I'm thinking, well, shit, man, this is crazy. And he actually followed us around that whole night. So then fast forward to night 2, we go back out there, but Jess and Randy were under the weather a little bit and had some things going on. So I brought another fireman of mine. I recruited a guest cameraman, Jacob Blizzard. He's another member of our group now. And we went back out there, and as we were out in the woods, we caught a shadow figure. It's really hard to see, but I mean, I can see it, but maybe it's just my eyes playing tricks on me. So anyway, caught that, come home. I didn't know we caught it until I looked at evidence a couple of days later. But the next night, I'm standing in my backyard taking my dog out to go to the bathroom. And at about 11, 12 o'clock at night, no wind, real calm night, my tool shed the door swings open violently. Now, I don't scare very easy. So I'm like, oh, whatever. Well, the thing that really got me is when it swung closed. Then all of a sudden, the hair on the back of my neck stood up, and I went, oh, shit. And the first thing I thought was, man, some joker's done followed me home. So I didn't tell anybody because I got teenage daughters and I got a wife. And I'm like, shit, man, they're going to be mad at me for bringing something home. That was the one thing they told me not to do. They said, don't bring anything home. And I said, yeah, no worries. But anyway, apparently I brought something home. So I didn't tell anybody. So the next day I go into work and I'm sitting at the firehouse and I'm typing on the computer and I get a text message from old Jessica over there who likes to send me scary text messages. And she says, hey, has your friend from the woods come to visit you? And I'm like, what the fuck? So I said, well, what the hell does that mean? And she's like, well, I just had this vision. And I'm thinking, Jesus, here we go. Her fucking visions, man. Like, I knew this was going to happen. And when I didn't talk to her about it, she just said, well, I had this vision of, your backyard and your shed and all that. And I'm thinking, you got to be kidding me. This is insane. And she's like, yeah, I have a feeling like he's there. And I'm like, yeah, well, I haven't told anybody yet. But surprise, surprise, my shed door flew open and I get this crazy feeling while I'm out there. And of course, she tells me, I need to go out there and talk and tell him to leave. So the next night, I'm out there talking to myself in the middle of the night. My neighbors are probably like, this guy's on drugs. I'm yelling at this guy, you got to go home. You got to go home. Of course, I don't know if he goes home because I can't see him. And then I thought that was the end of it. And then about 3 or 4 days later, I get a Facebook message from a lady who lives in Matthews, who's the know-all of Old House Woods. And she's an amazing resource. She's given us a lot of information. Well, while I'm telling her that, hey, somebody followed me home, she throws out, hey, it's Kevin. And I'm like, what the hell? What the hell kind of random name is that? I thought it was a Native American or something out there, but no, she says Kevin. And so I said, all right, who the hell's Kevin? And she said, well, he was a friend of mine. We used to investigate out there, and we spent a lot of time out in the woods, and he unfortunately took his own life. And before he died, he said he was going to go haunt Old House Woods. And I'm like, okay, well, this is a little weird, but I don't know how you know it's Kevin. And so I said, well, what does Kevin look like? Because I knew what Jess has already told me about the guy, and I didn't want to tell this lady. And she said, well, he's really tall, about 6'4", big build, dark hair. I went online, I looked him up, and I'm like, yeah, sure enough, that's what Kevin looks like. He was kind of a popular guy. He had like a radio show and stuff, a local radio show, and big into the paranormal. So I texted Jessica and I said, hey, what's your description of that guy that you see in my shed or whatever? And she said, big guy, bigger than you, dark hair. And I was like, God damn, this shit's crazy. So then I texted her a picture of the guy on the internet, and she's like, yeah, that's the guy. And I'm like, all right, it's all tied together. Well, then I asked the lady on the other side, well, why does Kevin want to follow me home? I mean, I don't understand that. And she said, well, Kevin was really defensive about paranormal groups coming out there and fucking around too much. Like if you went out there and you weren't a legit group, you were just some people looking for a scare, he would get very angry in life. And she said that he was also a jokester, but if you were messing around, he was going to definitely let his presence known, which makes sense if you think about it. I'm standing there, we're doing this group thing. All of a sudden, this gentleman runs up to the woods, protective of the area. And he also, according to Jess, while we're out there, had he was definitely interested in me, the leader of the group. So it all kind of tied together that it's potentially Kevin that's out there. It kind of all makes sense. Made it a little bit creepier, but also the lady said Kevin's a super nice dude and there's nothing to be worried about. So I haven't really told Kevin that he had to leave my backyard once I knew it was him. He can stay back there. I don't know why he's picking the tool shed though, because I have a full size detached garage that he's more than welcome to live, and it has a fridge with full of beer. So if Kevin wants to hang out, I'm cool with Kevin hanging out. I don't have a problem with it. Just don't scare my kids, and we're all good.
Be careful what you wish for on that one.
Sorry, it was a long story, but I mean, it was a lot of pieces of that story.
We like long stories.
Okay.
What do here?
Good. Did I get it right, Jess?
You sure did. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. And then, of course, I put it at the end of the Woods episode part 2. I didn't tell my kids or my wife. And so I said, hey, there's a surprise at the end. And then when they watched it, I got all these text messages like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, hey, I didn't want to tell you. I wanted to make it a surprise, man. It makes videos kind of fun, right?
You should just feel good that your kids and wife actually watch your content. Mine do not.
Well, I make them watch it. They have to watch it beforehand, so they check on my spelling issues. I think I have a speech impediment, and also I can't spell with a damn. So
Fair enough.
But we're going somewhere where there's potential demonic activity, so they're really nervous that I'm going to bring something home.
I get it every time. Do not bring anything back to this house. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. I can't do anything about that. If they want to come, they want to come. I'll tell them not to, but I mean,
I do my best, but I can't control what they do.
I mean, shit, man. I went on the internet and I ordered Paleo Santos wood or something from South America. I'm gonna burn some shit. I don't know even what I'm doing. Probably gonna draw more stuff to me than I am gonna get rid of. But
well, at least you're trying.
Yeah, we have holy water from Amazon, so you're doing better than us.
Say what? What'd you say?
We have holy water from Amazon, so you're doing better than us.
That is true. I'm gonna need it when I'm in the bowling alley by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that sounds exciting. Haunted bowling alley.
Well, yeah, you got to generate views, man. I got to get people excited about Beyond the Badge. That's going to be my next video I put out is, we're almost to 1,000 views in a short period of time. Once we hit 1,000 views, we can go live, So if we get 1,000 before February 1, I'm going to do a live feed from the bowling alley by myself. Just trying to spark interest. I like to do some crazy shit.
Quick hint. The more people you follow, the more people follow you.
That's pretty much, what I've noticed. If you look at our follows and following, it's about even. But I've been followed by some interesting folks too, though.
Yeah, let me know when you get the next Mr. Beast offering you $3,000 for your Cash App.
Yeah. Some weird shit out there, man.
Yeah.
But Old House Woods was actually pretty cool, man. It was the people in Matthews are really neat. They're nice people. The woods themselves, I think, are pretty haunted. We didn't catch a ton of stuff. We had a few small things occur while we were there. But I think it's one of those issues where the ghosts have had so many people come there, the spirits. And I think there's some intelligent spirits there that are hiding. So the lady who's been communicating with me said that she will take me there. She has a lot more communication with the spirits. And she'll be able to get us in and get some more evidence. So we're probably going to do a part 3.
Awesome.
But I don't really like outside stuff. It's a lot harder with lighting and sound and
yeah. Your stuff is actually for no longer than you've been doing it. Your production value is very good. I was impressed.
Well, we have a good one coming out. I'm actually going to release it tonight. It takes forever to load to YouTube, but maybe tomorrow morning. That's real. Jess and I and Zach and Lisette went to while we were in Matthews, we made contact with a resident whose family has owned a plantation home on Poplar Grove. It's a big plot of land. Samuel Williams bought the property in 1750. And the home that we just got finished investigating was built in 1760, the Williamsdale home. So circa 1760 is the name of the episode. We spent 13 hours there with static camera.
Cold.
Long and cold. There was no heat. It was freezing.
Only thing that warmed us up was shots.
They do a lot of shots, and a lot of beer. But we just spent a whole day and night there, and that episode has got a ton of evidence and was one of the most remarkable places I've experienced so far. And the footage is going to be a lot better. You'll see an increase in quality just because of the fact that it's inside, and we're starting to figure this thing out a little bit more.
Well, you guys are on a really good like you're on the right track. Like I said, your production quality I thought was really good. I know it's
appreciate
like try and shoot outside too. This is not my first go around on YouTube or
it. Yeah,
TikTok or anything like that.
right.
Um,
Well,
yeah,
that's tough.
I thought it was really good for no longer than you guys been doing. I thought somebody actually knew what they were doing. You guys are just winging it really well, apparently.
Well, we appreciate you buttering us up, man. We do, really do. We're
Jeremy
actually
does know
gonna.
what he's doing though.
He does. He like downplays himself, but he's really freaking talented. He
Yeah,
really is.
it shows. It shows.
Well, I can't wait till you guys tomorrow, if you get a free minute, check out the Circa episode. It's gonna be awesome. I just showed it to my kids. I made them watch it.
Yeah,
It's 46 minutes though. I had to cut out half the investigation because it was just so much. So we're gonna have a part 2 or some extras on YouTube. But
sounds
um,
amazing.
yeah, the whole goal with this group was to try to do it right. We see
Mhm.
enough. There's enough groups out there. There's thousands of groups out there, and they put a lot of content on the internet, on TikTok and YouTube. And I actually, before I decided to start doing this, I wanted to sort of figure out what was out there, because whatever was out there, I wanted to be better than that. And I've told these guys basically every single day, let's be better than the group, any other group out there. So if it's quality we need, then we need to do better. Like we need to have a cameraman dedicated. So that from now on, we actually had a meeting. I know it sounds like an official group. We had a meeting about, hey, we're going to have an official cameraman. That somebody's going to be a cameraman or camera woman that's going to focus on the assets 100% of the time. Never turn your camera off. Then we're going to have another camera person that's dedicated to the group and the other the room. And so when we do the footage, for one, it's easier for me to put together, but also it provides us a better quality episode. And then cameras are on 24/7. I mean, they never cut off because we even the outtakes get views on TikTok. So
That's real.
thanks to the Ford. That guy's insane, but we love him. But yeah, man, I've told them every single day I want to be better than the next. So we look around for groups. Like I go on YouTube and I watch stuff, and I'm like, we could do better than that. There's a lot of darkness, a lot of shakiness. And granted, those things are wonderful, but there's got to be a way to do it that's just better quality, because I want to entertain people. We as a group want to entertain people on top of also finding evidence and stuff like that. So
Yeah, sounds like a damn good goal.
yeah, man. Any other questions you got for us, man? We can answer stories.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to tell us a haunted story? Give us an experience, Jess. I can see one in your brain. I can see it. I know you got one. Come on, hit us.
No, I was just gonna say, like, when I was a kid, the very first, I say, spirit I ever saw was actually an old man that lived in my room, and my parents thought I was crazy. I grew up really religious, so my mom always was like, stop that. You can't do that. You sing Amazing Grace. You're not seeing anything. You scare the shit out of people, and they make you suppress that stuff. But since all this has started, just speaking of when he was talking about circa 1760. Just being there and walking that property. And when we saw the woman walk past in the middle, like I saw her walk, and then we go in the house and the guy tells us that, and I thought I was going to fall out on the floor, just because like you see it. And then when people just, confirm what you see is crazy, but just like stuff like that. I see stuff all the time though. I recently just hired someone, and they walked in, and when they walked in, their deceased dad was with them. That scared the crap right out of me. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to be able to focus for the rest of the day. But I've also had some cool, meaningful things happen too, like people who have, passed on, and there's someone that is really close to me, and they don't have closure, and they've kind of channeled me for them. It happened with my assistant a couple weeks ago, and I didn't know, but she had lost her aunt, but they didn't have like a great relationship, and she kind of felt bad that financially she couldn't afford to like go there and see her. And I got a really strong smell of like baby powder, and I guess that was her perfume. And I was like, okay. And so I turned because I can start to feel someone, and lo and behold, she's standing there. And so I looked at Deanna, and I said to her, I said her aunt's name, and I was like, she's standing behind you. And she just got so emotional. I ended up giving her a lot of closure. So there's not just scary stuff that I see, it's also really cool, awesome stuff that I'm seeing. But yeah, I have lots of stories. I can talk paranormal and ghosts all the time. Like Jeremy, I am absolutely obsessed. And if the TV's on, it's paranormal too. So
Yep. And we got a firehouse in City Newport News that's haunted. And I used to be stationed there for about 8 years. And I've been asked probably a dozen times since we started this group literally a month and a half, 2 months ago to, hey, you going to investigate Station 4? I'm like, hell no, I ain't investigating Station 4. It's too loud. I can't get anybody to shut up. The dispatcher's always going off. I'm not doing it. Noise contamination. I know it's haunted. I've already seen shit there. I don't have to go investigate it. But we might one day. We get really famous. Anyway, way back probably in the I guess it was early 2000s. I don't know exactly when the gentleman passed away, but there was a firefighter there that during the day they were doing some EMS training, and he pretended to die actually in the EMS training. He put a sheet over him and pretended to sit up and be a ghost. Well, they go on a call, and they return from the call, and he had passed away in the like a lazy boy chair in a back room. They found him there, just dead. And so that was Covis, right? So that chair remained there the entire time I was there, the death chair, you know, and it was next to the treadmill. So you'd run, and then when you were tired, you'd sit in the death chair, you know. And it was always creepy in there. And I'd heard stories when I got hired, but I had some actual experiences. So often at night when you were in the bay, you would hear papers rustling around, and you would hear noises in there that don't make sense. They're not fire department. They're the noises you would hear if someone was moving around. So that always creeped me out. Anytime you went by the room with the death chair, the energy level was super high. Now, I don't know if it was because I knew that was the death chair and it was super scary, but the energy was high. Well, one day I was sitting at a computer doing a report, and there was only 5 of us there. It's a single engine house, not a lot of people. The captain's in one room. There's a computer room, a bunch of us doing reports. And one of the guys who comes out, and he's not a bullshitter. Like, he didn't barely even talk very much. But he comes out of the bathroom. He's kind of white. His face is like pale white, and he looks a little terrified, and he's counting people, you know? So I'm sitting at the computer next to the door, and he's like, 2, 3, and he's like, and he looks at me, and he's like, were you just using the restroom? And I'm like, no. And he goes, shit. I said, what do you mean? He goes, I just saw somebody standing at behind, there's where the stall door shut. You can see the head and the legs, but there was nobody there. All 5 of us were sitting literally in that small area of the day room. So we were like, it's Covis, you know, ha. Well, then the next story is my now battalion chief was stationed at that station, and the only 2 people that slept in the large open bunk room. It's got about 20 beds. It's just a wide open room. Everybody sleeps in the same room. The captain, the master, and everybody slept on a different end of the station. Well, he was laying in his bed, and he kind of woke up to a person walking down the aisle towards the bathroom. He sees the silhouette open the door. It looks like a person, you know, he didn't think anything of it. They go into the bathroom, and it was just him and another guy, and he assumed it was the other guy. Well, he waited, and he said he waited, and he waited, and then after about 10 minutes, he looks up, and he sees the other guy still sleeping in his bed, and he was like, you have to be shitting me. Like, freaked him out. He couldn't go back to sleep. And the next morning, he goes and asks everybody, and everybody's like, no, man, nobody was in there. But everyone that has reported a story of Covis has seen the same thing, a silhouette walking down the bunk room, going into the bathroom, and never returning. And so that was a kind of another Covis story. And then the last Covis story that I have is we had a jokester at our station. He liked to play jokes and jump out and scare everybody, right? And so he did this all day, 24-hour shift, 23 hours. He was jumping out at us. It was getting kind of old. Every corner he went around, he was, and you were like, holy shit, man, that's enough. But you couldn't get him to stop. Well, the following morning, about an hour before we got off work, he was passing the death room, you know, where the death chair was. And he said, now he came running into the day room. This guy doesn't mess. He's got jokes around a lot, but you could tell he wasn't joking. He was pale white. He looked terrified. And he said, as I was walking past the death room, a dark shadow figure jumped out at me, scared the shit out of me, and he ran into the day room as fast as he could. And we were like, well, you know what? Covis has had enough of your shit. That's his business. That's his job. It ain't your job to be scaring people. That was a sign. And so we let him go. And then before he got into his truck, I had hid in the back seat, you know, and he had the truck running to warm it up because it was diesel. I guess he had to warm it up or something. So I'm hanging out in the back seat, and Tony gets in the truck and he puts the seatbelt on. You know, he had like big king cabs, so there was plenty of space. I'm hiding behind the seat, and everybody knows, so they're all coming out slowly, you know. And then all of a sudden, I come around the back of the seat, like, whoa, man! I never seen a guy get out of the truck so fast, man. He hit the belt and the door at the same time. He was gone, man, and that taught him a lesson. So, Station 4, City of Newport News is definitely haunted. But you know, if we end up investigating it, it'll be a long time from now because I want to do some bigger, cooler things. But yeah.
All right. So what haunted locations are on your guys' bucket list?
Oh wow, we got a lot. Got
Oh
a big
yeah.
bucket list though.
Well, it's a huge bucket list. Anytime you Google haunted locations, it's a bigger bucket list. But you got one. You got one. What is it?
We're gonna do the Conjuring House either the end of this year or the first of 25. That was something we decided right away. We want to either end big or begin big. There's a couple things that I want to do at the Conjuring House. The Jason's daughter, Jason from the Ghost Hunters daughter, is one of the caretakers there now. Her and her husband. I don't know if you've seen Sam and Colby on. I don't know if we're giving shout outs to these folks, but whatever.
Shout them
Sam
out.
and Colby.
Whatever. Here we go.
Yeah, whatever. It's a great Sam and Colby. They're awesome. They got a great YouTube channel. But I was watching The Conjuring. They did 7 nights there, and the most astonishing thing I've ever seen was the Jason's daughter and her husband have this ability to hold hands basically and get spirits to respond to them and interact with them out of knocks. And they do the alphabet as they. If you haven't watched it, it's. I mean, being into the interest in the paranormal is one thing, but like this is deep. And Sam and Colby tend to have some pretty raw stuff. There's not a whole lot of. I don't think they fake a whole lot of things. I actually saw her and her husband, Jason's daughter and her husband, do this on Ghost Hunters on another episode before she was at the Conjuring House. They looked and they found an old quill pen under the floorboard. And I was like astonished because this ghost tapped out ABCD or whatever, and it said, "Look under the floorboard." So they're at the Conjuring House now, and if you go there, if you request it, they'll actually do a session with you. And and we know the Conjuring House gets a bad rep because of the movies. But what I learned by watching that episode or those episodes is there's bad shit there, and there's a lot of good shit there. And I'm interested in the good shit that's there because I think there's some very intelligent spirits there that I'd love to communicate with. They have a lot of information. They actually open up a world of information about the spirit world. If you get a chance to watch the episodes, totally worth it. I mean, it's one of the most amazing episodes I've ever seen, and 7 of them. So it's really, really good. But the Conjuring House 2025, I think is probably when we're going to be able to do it because it's so far away from us. And we have full-time jobs and families.
Yep, but that does put a damper on things.
Pinehurst or Waverly Hills. You sent me one a few yesterday, Jess. You want to do?
Oh yeah, that's this morning at 7:30 because I'm crazy.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was half asleep.
That's okay. Sweet Spring Sanatorium is definitely on my bucket list.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Take me to West Virginia because there's a lot there.
Yeah, we got a lot of places we want to do. You know, we want to do good places. We want to do good work, and you know, depends on how much money we have, I guess.
Well, I'll tell you from my experience, just Waverly is worth the price of admission. I will tell you that.
Well, we're not worried about the price. I mean, our group is okay with splitting the money and figuring out a way to do it.
Yep.
We'll sell merch one day. Who knows?
Hey, you got nice sweatshirts. I'll tell you that.
I'll tell you what. You know what's really shitty, Bo? We got these sweatshirts in, and then old Randy over there decides, you know what? I'm gonna create a logo, and I like that logo better. So now we got all these shirts with the old logo, and we got to order new shirts and sweatshirts.
That's how you grow, right?
Yeah, that's it. It's okay. This is like the original shit here. So.
There you go. Yeah, we got a couple of those floating around.
Hey man, real quick, I wanted to tell you one more story, just because we're doing. I don't want to forget. The first investigation that I did as Beyond the Badge was actually at Newport News Park campground site. They have a Civil War battlefield out in the woods, and I bought some basic ghost hunting equipment and thought I need to do some sort of. I need to try this shit out, right? So I didn't really have any friends to hang out with me, but I need to try the equipment out. So I actually brought my 12-year-old daughter, Ava, who's totally an enthusiast as well. She actually went to Gettysburg with me and we did the orphanage together and they put us in the dungeon together and she was totally on board. She loved that shit, man. And she's pissed that she can't go to St. Albans. But anyway, I had conveniently scheduled a camping trip at Newport News Park. And so I arranged everything perfectly. And Lisette went, Torres, the other investigator we have, and we went out to the woods. I got permission to stay out in the middle of the woods because you have to get permission for that, I guess. And I didn't think we were going to get anything, man. I thought it was going to be one of those things where we just go out and hear crickets. And it was a calm night. It was a clear night. And from the very beginning, from the get-go, we got evidence. As soon as I turned that spirit box on, well, before we did, I said, hey, my name is Jeremy Lefevre. This is Lisette Torres. This is Ava Rose. We're here just to sort of make communication. And Lisette's girlfriend was there too. And I introduced everybody. And no shit, man. As soon as I turned the spirit box on, it said Torres. And I was like, what the? Now I heard it, but I really couldn't figure it out until I listened to it. And I was like, you got to be shitting me, man. Like, that's quick. So anyways, this Torres. And then we got EMF spikes. And then I walked down the bridge by myself, a little bridge over the water, and I was doing a spirit box session and it said, thanks, Jeremy, which was really creepy. And then we went in further into the woods and we did like a spirit box, EMF, cat ball trio session. And we had that damn cat ball sitting out there for 20 minutes. Not a thing happened to it. It was just sitting there and sitting there and sitting there. And finally, Lisette was like, look, if you want us to leave you alone, just touch the cat ball. And no shit, 2 seconds later, boom, the cat ball goes off. Now, when you're starting off and you've never experienced any of this, everyone was like, oh, shit. They're all freaking out and stuff. And then, of course, we didn't leave, right? Because we're not doing that. So the spirit box, Lisette goes, hey, is this place haunted? And it said, yeah. And then very clear. And then she said, oh, is this safe? And it said, nope, haunted, like really long and deep. I'm like, you got to be shitting me. This is great. We're out here doing this and I'm actually getting some evidence. And then we moved further into the woods to the actual, where the actual battle encampments were. And we got a name of a soldier, Eric. We got at war. So we were getting some cool shit, man. And that was just like the very first trial run, really, of the equipment. And I was already hooked anyway. But it made me feel good that, hey, we got some shit and I can put it on the internet. So I did put that stuff out there on YouTube. If you haven't checked it out, it's the I call it the Dam 1 because it's Dam number 1 is the name of the battlefield. And we'll go out there and do it again now that we have cooler equipment and a more put together group. And that's one that my daughter can go to because it's pretty safe. But yeah, man, that was a cool way to start off the badge thing.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah. And what is it? 2 weeks from now? Not even 2 weeks. We go to St. Albans, and I know a lot of people go there, but I think we're gonna have an amazing investigation there. We're gonna do some cool shit.
Can't wait.
Yeah. And then you talked about the firefighting stuff and how that plays a role into what we do.
Mm-hmm.
We I know Randy can attest to this. That we see some bad shit. People don't call us when things are good, right? And I know in 18 years being in the city of Newport News, which is an amazing fire department, by the way, give them some props. Unfortunately, I've seen a lot of death, a lot of destruction, and there's a connection that you get with that. When you're in a room with someone who's passed away, and you're in the middle of involved with a traumatic event where someone's passed away, there's a feeling that's there, that their spirit and soul and whatever is still there. There's an energy there. So I've felt that so many times. And I was at a Comic-Con and I met Dave Schrader, an investigator from the Holzer Files, and a really nice guy, by the way. And I was discussing to him the potential that when we leave those scenes, especially as a paramedic, and that medic's there, when someone passes away in that medic, what's the likelihood that that spirit gets stuck in the back of that medic? What if I could see the spirit world? Is the medic just full of people? Is it just tons of folks back there just hanging out? Did that shit come back to the station? Like when we bring it to the firehouse, we get out, those spirits, they roam around the station. I would love to be able to see the other side and just say, how many people are at firehouse number 6 right now? It's got to be a shit ton of people. I mean, we go to 3 or 4, 5 our cardiac arrests a day. Imagine those folks just following us home. And then if, you know, me being involved with paranormal, maybe I put off a different light, you know, maybe I have a glow that they see and they're like, I'm going to go with this dude, you know? So I always wonder about that. And also Randy can attest, we're just fucked up. I mean, we see bad shit all the time. We're just fucked up people, man. Like we have to see shit and then we have to go right back to normal. Like we'll see bad shit and then immediately go back to the station, eat cheeseburgers and hang out and talk shit about football. And then it's crazy how we don't have a real way to separate ourselves from what we do.
Yeah, my little woman is a nurse, and
Oh yeah,
we've had some conversations over dinner that, you know, she's the same way. She sees some fucked up shit, comes home and makes dinner. It's
yeah, we're fucked up, man.
Yeah,
We're
I
messed
get
up
it.
up here.
I get it.
We're messed up here, and that's why usually firefighters drink and do dumb shit because there's no other. Who are you going to talk to, really? I mean,
Right.
talk to a paranormal investigator maybe, but or a shrink, but nobody wants to talk to a fucking shrink, man. I don't want to talk to a shrink. So you don't have anybody to talk to. Your wives, and I'm sure Jess is amazing because she already sees what Randy's going through before he gets home. But like most wives don't want to hear about the bad shit you're talking about, you know? They just don't know why you're acting the way you're acting. So most guys come home, they drink and do dumb shit. And, you know, I can't say what we're doing is safer. You know, I wouldn't call this safe, going to see demons and stuff, but
We're having fun.
not, and there is alcohol involved. But I believe it's more controlled. No one's drinking and driving and doing dumb shit. So, and you know, it's a group of friends. We can communicate. Like Zach DeFord, our other investigators, you know, he was a recon Marine and he's seen a lot of bad shit. And he'll tell you, you know, he's got some dark past and stuff like that. And so this kind of stuff is good for him too. He gets to experience some things and have this social life with us. And he's an amazing dude, funny as hell. But yeah, if you ever watch any of our TikToks, most of them are with Zach doing some dumb shit. I'm too ugly and can't speak right. Zach is kind of he's handsome dude and he's always got his face in the camera saying some of it I'm like, you know what, I know that's offensive, but I don't give a shit, man. Just say you don't want to watch our shit, don't watch our shit. I don't care, man. Like, whatever. But yeah.
Man, it sounds like an amazing thing you guys are doing. It really does.
Yeah, we're gonna do some amazing things. This is just the beginning.
Right on, right on.
Yeah. All right. What else we got? Anybody
else got anything they want to talk about?
You know, we never introduced ourselves, Ben.
I think our people know who we are.
To them.
Oh.
Be polite.
Well, that's Jake. He's the one you guys been talking to.
Yeah.
I'm Ben, and yeah, I'm just me.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Oh, we really appreciate you guys coming on. If you ever want to come on and tell stories, we are always open for that.
I was thinking about it. So one thing about me you may not know is I think about shit all the time. I'm like ridiculously, I'll text random shit. I'm like, hey, I'm thinking about this. I was thinking about this today. We're going to like St. Albans and the cabin and all that. When we have these experiences, man, I'll reach out to one of you and say, hey, you want to hear some shit we can talk about? If you want, man, we can come back and talk about all the investigations that we do. If you need us on.
Absolutely, we love it.
Yeah, we don't mind talking about it, man. We're gonna have some cool shit happen to us this year, and we need to share it with somebody. So
yeah, you guys are always welcome here on the Paranatural Podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Plus,
absolutely.
you got my number. I love hearing about spooky shit.
All right, man, we'll definitely do that. I was listening to your podcast today, actually, in the truck with my 12-year-old daughter.
Oh.
That don't repeat anything that you hear. Don't repeat anything you hear. But I was like, hey, this is the podcast we're on tonight. It sounds pretty fucking good, right? And she's like, it does sound good, Dad. These guys sound pretty legit. And I'm like, yeah, no, man, it's some real shit right here. Dad and his group's moving up to the next level, man. We got
Yeah, we're just a couple goofballs talking shit about scary shit on the internet. That's all.
That better. We're the next level.
We enjoyed it. Y'all are next level, man.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Someday we want to do what you guys are doing, but we're too broke, and I got little kids.
Well, I'm broke. I mean, being in debt is one thing, man.
It's part of the game, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, I'm gonna make it big one day, guys.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, don't
Well, you
forget
guys
about us.
are gonna have to come down here and just be a guest with us, and we'll just take you. And I could scare the shit out of you with what I tell you standing behind you, like I do Jeremy.
Oh, don't do that. Yeah, that's scary.
No,
Don't
you
do it.
actually
It's fun.
can't love. But
Oh yeah, Ben's very sensitive, and he doesn't get scared. One of the
Oh,
first
you're
times,
like me. We know it's coming before everybody else.
yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a medium. I'm more like a small, but it's close enough. I at least know it's there.
Ben's being modest. So the first time that he came over to my house, I was telling him I had a bunch of weird shit going on. I kept seeing this figure walk into my hot water heater room, and he comes over. I've told this story so many times, but I love it. He comes over and he's like, "Where are you seeing it?" So he walks over to the hot water heater room and he's standing outside the door and he's like, "I'm feeling like a push, like something doesn't want me in here. Like it's angry, but it's not evil." So he takes one more step right underneath the door frame and it falls and hits him.
Shit.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
crazy.
Yeah, that's my life. But
That's
Like
insane.
the whole door, like it just falls off and hits him.
That's crazy. He knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming. I kept walking because that's
He's just like, "Oh, well, let's go in here."
That's awesome. Yeah, we
But
had talked about doing some guest investigators too. I got 2 guys going with us, St. Albans, just to cut the price down a little bit.
Mhm.
That's, you know,
Ooh,
that's helpful.
they charge a
And
lot to go walk around them spooky places, don't
no
they?
shit, man. No shit. For a while, I was like, how in the hell all these little podunk groups get into these places, man? Like, do you have to call? I was sending letters out. Look, I'm going to admit it. I'm an idiot. I downloaded Chat GPT, right? And I'm writing fucking official letters with a letterhead. I'm sending shit out I sent probably 100 letters out to every institution, abandoned institution, everything, saying, hey, let my group come. And I let Chat GPT write it, right? It's pretty impressive. Was talking about how we love the history and we do this and we do that. And I made it specific for each place. I mean, it was a lot of work. I ain't getting nothing back, man. I'm like, this is some bullshit. How these folks on YouTube that got 1 view get in this fucking place, man? So come to find out, you just gotta pay the money, man. That's
Yeah.
the deal. You know what? That's easier. I don't
So
got
Money talks.
you
I
just
still
sign
use
up and
chat.
pay your money, and they'll let you come in. They'll let you walk around, let you do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, no, and I need to buy me one of these places, man. It
That's
would
what
be
I'm
an
saying.
investment. But I got a couple guys coming. One is my fire captain. I convinced him to come, and another guy at my station. I was like, guys, I need y'all in here, man. Like, if y'all could come hang out, it would be cut the price down, and also come hang out. So they're coming. They've never done this before. They both said they're not going to be scared. I've sent them links to St. Albans and all the bad shit. And we're going to find out, man, how our guest investigators handle a little scare. So it's going to be
Those are
fun.
the most fun to take with you. Is the I've never done this before, guys.
Yeah.
They're
We're
always a
skeptics,
blast.
It's gonna
Always
be
a
fun.
blast.
Cool.
But anyway, yeah, you guys, you want to come back on and tell us stories from your past investigations, future investigations, you
Cool.
are more than welcome. Reach out. We'd love to have you back on.
All right. I appreciate you guys letting us be on, man.
Hey, we appreciate you guys coming on. Really do.
All
Yeah,
right.
thank you.
So everybody check out Beyond the Badge Paranormal. I promise you're going to enjoy it. Great bunch of people. They're having a lot of fun out there doing probably what a lot of us who get into the paranormal want to be doing. So yeah, check them out. YouTube.
Yeah, and I gotta
Appreciate the
say,
shout out.
I really appreciate what you guys are doing. Like you said, guys really don't have an outlet that's safe. I like what you're doing. Like, I mean, yeah, demon hunting, paranormal. It's not safe, but it's better than drinking and drugs ruining your life.
That's right.
So yeah, big shout out to you guys.
We appreciate it.
I appreciate what you're doing.
Awesome, man. Yeah, we're gonna keep doing it too. Check out Circa 1760. You should see it on YouTube tomorrow. It takes a god awful amount of time to take it from Adobe to YouTube. It takes 46 minutes, but it'll get there. I'm gonna start it as soon as we're done here, and it'll be done.
This will
point
be out after that. So by the time you are hearing this, it will be uploaded. So get over there, watch the video, like the video, comment on the video, get these guys some love, get these guys growing some.
There is 17 minutes. There is 17 minutes in that video at the towards the end there. That is, to me, the most remarkable 17 minutes that, I mean, barring seeing a full fledged spirit apparition walk by. Some of the stuff that the investigator Lisette experiences in the 17 minutes is absolutely astonishing. So yeah, if nothing else, check out that. I mean, the last 17 minutes is cool as shit, man.
Well, now I can't wait to check it out.
Yeah, yeah. And I know my wife and daughter said it was okay too, so I guess it's fine.
Hey, that's the stamp of approval you need.
Yep. Cool, man. All right. Yeah.
All
Thanks
right.
for having us.
It was very nice to meet you all, and thank you for coming on. And we hope to talk to you again real soon.
All right. Talk to you soon. All
right.
All right. Bye.
All right. Well, once again, we want to thank the folks from Beyond the Badge Paranormal for coming and visiting us. And we have one more person to thank before we wrap the show up, Jacob. We're a little bit late with this one, but Nathan Norman became our newest supporting member on Patreon. And Nathan, we want to say thank you very much for your support. We really do appreciate it. It means the world to us. So thanks a lot, buddy.
He goes by Nate.
He goes by Nate.
He goes by Nate.
All right. Well, Nate, hey, bud, we appreciate you.
He's a lovable creature.
There you go.
Yes, thank you, Nate. Love you. It was good talking to you the past couple of weeks. Thanks for being a fan. And I hope that you're still happy with your hair loss. I know Ben is.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much, as always, for choosing to spend your time with us here on the Paranatural Podcast. If you enjoy the show, share the show with a friend. We love you. Good night.
And I'm Ben. Oh, I mean, watch the Lions game. Good night. Love you.